Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. I hope y'all are doing amazing. Today we will be making some delicious ramen beef and broccoli stir fry. Y'all like, share, subscribe, leave your girl a comment. Let's get into it. As far as the ingredients we'll be using, I have some beef here, 2-pound bag of broccoli, some garlic and ginger paste, 2 onions, cornstarch, have some dark soy sauce, sesame oil, oyster sauce, and garlic chili in the back also. And I'll show you guys how to put it all together. And also, you guys, I'll be using 3 packs of these noodles, and I'm just going to discard the seasoning packs that's in it. Now, to get started, I have my beef here, and as you can see, it's sliced pretty thin. That's how it was at the grocery. And so I'm going to slice it in half. Now this is how I like mine, but you can do yours how you prefer. So once you slice it in half, I'm just going to lay it on top of the other piece. And give that a slice about 4 times. And my sizes are about like that. Now I have my meat already washed. And I had it sliced in, as you've seen. And what I add is the cornstarch, about a tablespoon or so. The paste, the ginger paste, and the garlic paste. And I gave this a mix. And I'm going to let this sit and marinate for about 30 minutes. And while our meat is marinated, we can go ahead and get started on our sauce. I'll be using about 6 tablespoons of soy sauce, the garlic paste, about 2 tablespoons, the ginger paste, I don't know if y'all, there you go. I'll be using about a tablespoon of that. Try not to go over because it'll be really strong. That ginger flavor will. Tablespoons of the oyster sauce. And now, this chili garlic sauce, that is optional, but I like it, but it is a little spicy. I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons of that. Now we'll be adding in the brown sugar. I have about 3 tablespoons of the brown sugar. We'll be adding in a 1/2 cup of water. And I'll be using about 2 tablespoons of the cornstarch. And also some black pepper, you guys. So once you have all of that in, go ahead and give that a mix. Make sure you get everything nice and incorporated. Make sure that cornstarch dissolves down in it. And we're going to set this aside and get our noodles and broccoli going. Okay, we have our water nice and boiling. So go ahead and add your noodles. And I'm using 3 packs. Now, if you don't want to use the ramen noodles that's in the bag, you can always use whatever kind of noodles you prefer. And I am disregarding this package. I'm not adding that. We're just going to set that aside. You can keep it, save it, use it for anything that you prefer, but it won't be going in this recipe today. So get your noodles going. Give this a stir. Make sure all the noodles separate. And I'll show you what to do next. And now we know with these noodles, they only take about 3 minutes. So, you know, just watch your timing. And once your 3 minutes are up, go ahead and remove them from the heat. And I'm going to go ahead and rinse mine with cold water to go ahead and stop that cooking process. Okay, so our noodles are done. And once they were done cooking, I've rinsed them off with cold water. And we're just going to set this aside. And now we can work on our broccoli. And like I said, I have a 2-pound bag, and my broccoli is still frozen. And I'm going to add a splash of water, and I'm going to put the lid on it, and I'm just going to cook it until it's tender. And now you do want to come in and periodically stir up your broccoli. And now you can use fresh broccoli also, but I decided to go ahead and use the frozen tonight. But fresh will work just fine also. And I will be adding a little Tony's to my broccoli. Of course, you know, can't do it without that Tony's, baby. And so once your broccoli is done, you want to go ahead and remove it and set your broccoli aside. Just cook it until it's to your tenderness, how you like yours tender. And now for the meat, I'm going to add in a little avocado oil. And I'll be adding in a little sesame oil. Now that is optional, but I like the flavor that it adds to the meat. So I added in some sesame oil. And then now you want to go ahead and get your meat in. And once you get your meat in, you want to make sure you go in and separate the pieces and give everything a good mix. And I'll be adding in a little Himalayan salt to my meat and some black pepper. You can use whatever you prefer in yours. Now your cooking time will depend on how thin your meat is sliced. So just keep that in mind when you're cooking yours. Mine already was sliced pretty thin, so this isn't going to take long at all. And you just want to cook it until it's cooked through. And then we'll add in the sauce. Well, I'll go ahead and add in my onions in just a moment. Since our meat is about done, I'm going to go ahead and add in my onions. Now these onions, that is optional. I added it because I love onions and garlic. So you'll pretty much see that in all of my recipes. So go ahead and give that a toss. And I like my onions to be, like to have a little bite to it. That's why I waited. But if you want to cook your onions out a little longer, you can go ahead and add your onions when you put in your meat. So add your onions in and give it a toss. And just continue to let this cook. So now my onions have been cooking in with my meat for about 3 minutes. And my meat cooked a total of about 6-7 minutes. So now I'm going to go ahead and add in your sauce. And you want to let this cook down for about 3 minutes or so. And your sauce will thicken as it cooks. Look at that, you guys. It's smelling so good. Y'all need to make this today. And don't skip that step on velveting that meat with that cornstarch and that egg white. And let it marinate for 30 minutes. You'll thank me later. That meat is so good and tender. Oh, it's so good. So I'm going to let this cook for about 3 minutes. And then we'll go ahead and add in our broccoli and the noodles. So now that that's been cooking, we're going to go ahead and add in our broccoli. And get that mixed in. Look at that, you guys. You can just eat this just like this. Without the noodles. And this would be perfect. And make sure at this point your heat is on low. Look at that. And it smells so good in here. And once your broccoli is in, you want to go ahead and put in your noodles that we had already cooked. And mix this all in until everything is well incorporated. Look at that, you guys. And like I said, if you don't want to use the packaged noodles, use whatever kind of noodle you prefer. If you like yours with a bit more sweetness to it, just add a little bit of more of the brown sugar. Just give it a taste and cater it to how you like it. Look at this, you guys. And it was so easy, so simple, but yet so delicious. And I'm telling you, it's better. Everything's better when you make it at home. And this faster than DoorDash can deliver it to you. I like to add a little sesame seeds to mine, but that is optional. Look at that, you guys. It is so good. Look at that, you guys. It's so good. I can't wait for y'all to try it. I want to thank you guys for watching. Y'all smash that like button. Hit that notification bell. Subscribe if you haven't. Y'all know the vibe. Be blessed.